Hello, 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 and welcome back to Sikich Live. Go ahead and hit that subscribe and like button for us so that you can get all of our notifications. We go live each Thursday at 2:30 Central Time each week with new exciting topics about ERP, IT managed services, security, compliance, modern workplace, business applications, digital transformation, the whole slew. So make sure to check us out. We're here every Thursday, 2:30 Central Time. Also, as a reminder to everyone, make sure that you are asking questions in our chat as much as possible. That's why we're here. That's why we're live, so that we can answer your questions right away and get those answered from our Sikich experts. Today, we are talking all about the importance of client experience in 2021. It's been a difficult year for companies and the clients you serve as well, and having a great client experience for them will only make their lives that much easier. The right customer engagement tools can help you understand your customers and their experiences across the entire customer journey. They can also empower your organization with the tools and insights you need to elevate these experiences and help your company stand out from your competitors. To talk more about this topic of client experience in 2021 is Miles Sims. Miles, thanks for joining us here. How are you?
Doing good, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Miles, real quick, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do at Sikich?
Yeah, so I run our delivery team at Sikich on the Salesforce practice, and we work with clients implementing, updating, integrating, and building, custom client experiences, across a number of different industries. So excited to talk a little bit more about this today and living and breathing in the Salesforce world.
Sure thing. Thanks, Miles. Let's get right into it.
Sure.
It's been reported that 1.6 trillion is lost every year in the U.S. because of poor customer service, right? And 98 billion per year is left on the table by companies who fail to provide simple experiences to their customers. I like that, simple. Those are some big numbers and a lot of money. What's your take on this? And a follow-up question for that, how often is client experience coming up in conversation with clients and prospects that you're currently working with?
Yeah, I mean, my take on this is all about two things, in my opinion. It's speed. You mentioned simple. When you're dealing with support, when you're engaging with a company, you want information quickly and trust. Speed and trust. And so you want to be able to believe that the information being provided to you, whether it's from a call center agent or an AI bot, whatever the case may be, that you're getting served that information correctly and it's valuable to you. This is something that we're seeing all the time. As recent as just a few minutes ago, we were having a conversation with a client and walking through client experience for a group of doctors across 3 or 4 different systems. And at the end of the day, the client isn't worried about whether there's Salesforce on the back end, right? They're there to accomplish their goals, to make sure that the service provided is coherent and cohesive, and that it's something that works correctly. So the technology really takes a backseat, and it is something that is top of mind all the time with our clients.
Great, thanks, Miles. So digital transformation, and of course, hopefully many companies know about marketing automation. Currently, those are digital transformation, marketing automation are two things that are being talked about right now in correlation with that client experience, right? So leveling the playing field for everyone that is joining us today. For those not familiar, can you share what those two things really mean to organizations and their importance? Sure.
Yeah, so transformation, automation, those are definitely buzzword bingo words right now. But as we see it, and as our goal in working with clients is when we are looking at a transformation, be it within the organization itself. So for the employees, all the way to the customers, it's really about enabling those audiences to do those things we were just talking about. And so, an example of that would be, I think a pretty classic example on transformation is automating or streamlining manual processes and moving them into a tool like Salesforce. And there's all kinds of write-ups and overviews and technical information there. But what was really important is, many times you're taking someone who has a high level of, there's a lot of pain points in their day-to-day of maybe it's manually, aggregating and updating data in a spreadsheet and uploading it into multiple systems. You're really freeing that person up within an organization to provide better customer experience, customer service directly to customers, instead of spending so much time, having to do those manual things. So that's just one example of that transformation. It goes from within the organization out to the customers, and that's really what we focus on is beyond just the nuts and bolts of putting some new systems in place and some better systems that are easier to use, are cloud-based versus on-prem, another big word of the day. But it's really about how do we enable those people to serve their customers better, free up time for things they're doing manually, and then on the client side, do the same thing, make it easier for them to get into those systems, to interface with those systems. From an marketing automation standpoint, it's really the same experience, just prior to that organization or individual becoming a customer. So I want information about your services. I want pricing. I want it quickly. I want it delivered in a way that I can consume it on the spot and where I'm at within the buying process. So it's, it's all about having that intelligence built in so that, we're not leaving people stranded or waiting around or with the wrong information.
So Miles, can you tell us about some marketing automation tools that are, being utilized at organizations today and what those benefits are?
Yeah, for sure. So one thing in our Salesforce world, we use Pardot a lot. That is a B2B marketing tool, email-based marketing tool that's part of the quiver of Salesforce products. And so, what that allows our clients to do is really, deliver that targeted messaging, right? So making sure we're meeting the customer where they're at in the buying process, making sure that we're nurturing them along and providing the right information in a timely way. We want to make sure that's efficient. So, making sure that we're enabling within the organization to kind of review what's happening, to review the behavior of our clients, and then to, again, provide them with the right thing at the right time. And probably most importantly is to be able to go back and then measure the success, and find out, what we need to do from an analytics standpoint. How do we need to update what we're doing today? Where are some areas that we could have better clarity? How could we, deliver a quote from our quote to cash system in a way we're seeing a lot of clients that, just kind of, it takes so long that they disappear. And so how do we improve those things? And, leveraging some of these automation tools, getting into Pardot and being able to track and tweak and try it again. I mean, that is really the key to having this help your business, but again, most importantly, that client experience, so that it's something that they want to engage with you, generate revenue, do business, and then tell people they know, right? I mean, referrals are word of mouth is still huge.
So, according to IDC, $641 billion is expected to be spent on the customer experience technologies in 2022, over $130 billion more than in 2019. Do you agree with this focus, and what solutions are you implementing with clients today to focus on the client experience that they're providing?
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree that this is, where a lot of the growth is happening with a platform like Salesforce that's starting to gain some has gained market maturity. We're starting to see a lot of the UI pieces, a lot of the experience pieces come into play. And recently they've actually rebranded Community Cloud, which is their online community platform, as Experience Cloud. So even Salesforce is super focused on this too. And what that does is it really allows us to engage with a couple primary audiences with our clients, their customers. And so it's customer communities, partner or dealer communities if you've got a dealer network, and employees. I mentioned it before, with that employee experience. If you look at a lot of the data out there today on LinkedIn and what recruiters are talking about, it's what's the onboarding, what's the culture of that organization, and that definitely cascades right over to how those individuals interact with customers. So, from a platform perspective, Experience Cloud is something our team spends a lot of time on. And again, leveraging that, not just standalone by itself, but usually there's a Pardot-like tool, a marketing automation tool. We'll probably have a CMS tool. There's 3 or 4 different systems and platforms that we'll be working with our customers on, some legacy, some new. And again, it's really driving that customer experience, branding, marketing, messaging, all those things. The expectation now is that those are consistent, targeted and well-defined. And so, that's what the clients expect from us, is to help them build those out. And so, Experience Cloud, formerly known as Community Cloud, is our primary tool, but there's a lot of other things that we're interfacing with on a day-to-day basis to make sure that we can help deliver that experience.
To keep going on this Experience Cloud, I'm curious about ways that you see organizations using it to really deliver on that excellent client experience, right?
Yeah. So, some of those things, I think it's become standard even within organizational structures and with our clients, to have an online community, to have some sort of portal presence for customers, for partners. And so it's really, what do you do beyond just giving someone an account to log in and open a case or request support? But we need to meet them where they're at. So layering in things like digital engagement, which is SMS, text messaging, mobile friendly versions of all the same functionality that you're on a desktop or a laptop, and really going across those different channels to make sure that we're meeting those customers' needs where they're at. Self-service is a big part of that. So, being able to allow customers to easily and quickly find information, again, be it self-service on a pre-sales or sales side, or marketing side, or on the post-sale service side, being able to get in and grab that. I think we all expect in our daily lives, whether it's Amazon or beyond, like, we want to be able to get to that information, a lot of times get to it ourselves without having to interface with someone. We're starting to see the adoption of AI-based artificial intelligence bots. So chat bots, I think everyone started to get that little pop-up in the bottom right, and what do you need help with? And if that experience is positive, then it makes a big difference. And you're back to trusting that company and delivering the right information. And then even beyond that, within Salesforce specifically, we're really seeing a move to more tailored user experiences from an interface standpoint. I think a lot of the 1.0 and 2.0 versions of many of the platforms we've all worked with, you would often hear, well, we couldn't quite get it to work this way, or it wasn't flexible enough to meet our need. And I think that has really gone by the wayside, where we have things that are scalable, like the Lightning design system, where you can take all the user interface, the buttons and the navigation and the page layout, and really tailor that to what your specific customer need is, and as well as layering on those AI pieces and self-service. That is really a big part of that holistic piece of how do we make sure we've got all these tools? How do we make sure we're using them the right way and delivering that 5-star experience to those customers as they come to get support or to gather information.
Sure. So PricewaterhouseCoopers did a study that showed that 32% of customers stop doing business with a brand they love after only one bad experience, which, whoa. So it's really important to get right for anyone with us today that, that isn't confidence in the experience they're providing today. What action steps do you recommend that they take?
Yeah, so I think one of the big things here is, and it's a common struggle, is when we're working within an organization with a client, and you're thinking about what you want to leverage some of these tools for, is to make sure you're not confusing your business, KPIs. Like, what are the things you measure to make sure your business is healthy? Revenue growth, adoption of a product. All those different things. Those aren't what the customer who's coming to get support from you are looking for, right? They're not worried about how many widgets you sold in the last quarter. Their widget isn't working correctly, and they want your help to fix it. So I think that's one of the first things, is just making sure the lens that you're looking at at these interactions through is the right lens. I think it's a very common mistake to kind of look at a community, look at a self service support portal, something like that, and apply a layer of your internal KPIs, your internal business metrics to that, and then say, hey, it's not working. When really you should be looking at it from the view of, okay, how does this serve our customers? How does this really meet that need for them? And then how does it translate to our bottom line? The other piece to this is, as we mentioned earlier about all those different cool things in the platform, is flexibility. So, in many projects, we make assumptions. We're rolling out a new design, new look and feel. We definitely want to do some testing. We definitely want to talk to customers and get as much input as we possibly can. But it's not always perfect. Back to Pardot, we always talk about A/B testing and testing different ways. And I think the systems today, the Salesforce platform, the Salesforce ecosystem specifically, really has the strength of allowing for that flexibility, allowing for you to come back and make changes to things that aren't working or maybe aren't working as well as you'd like them to. So, this, to me, this isn't your one and done by any means, right? These are all living, breathing efforts from your marketing team, from your customer support team, from your sales team, and being able to learn from the data you're gathering, learn from what you're hearing directly from your customers, and then apply that to updated experiences, new experiences, and to continue down that path. I mean, that's really what educates you, gets you there to providing that end result of the good user experience. And so we don't have that one bad experience. And I think we can all relate to that. I mean, you buy something online, you go somewhere in person, and if it's not great, I mean, the likelihood of you re-engaging with that business, be it as a consumer or as a business user, is really low. It's a lot harder to earn back that trust and get business again if you do have that bad experience. So anything that we can do to prevent that, or at least show that we're empathetic towards that, and if they do have a bad experience, then we have the tools in place to reach out, figure out what happened, and improve from there. So that's the fun part for me. I love the relationship dynamic and all that, working with our clients, working with our clients' customers, and really solving those problems.
Cool. Well, Miles, thanks for being here today. That's all the questions that I have for you.
Sure thing.
And thanks everyone for tuning in to Sikich Live here today. Don't let any of your customers have a bad experience with you. Reach out at www.sikich.com to learn more about improving that customer experience. Reach out to Miles directly on LinkedIn. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear from you. And we'll see y'all next week. Thanks for coming. Bye.